Hello, YouTube. Michael Constantine here. Barely a week goes by. I do not see or hear a domestic violence incident or conflict between people in my travels. Today I saw a man arguing with a woman at first and then trying to take her dog at a transient housing establishment that they were at. I happened to be nearby and I felt compelled to intervene after hearing others shout at the man to get the woman free of those circumstances, to get him to leave her alone. Do you know why people stay with such individuals? It's basic economics. It shouldn't be that way. A woman, man, or child should not have to be with someone who mistreats them or is violent to them because they cannot otherwise afford housing. The problem is so prevalent that shelters cannot take all of these people in who need an affordable, safe alternative to staying with abusive family or partners. Every now and then, you get a good Samaritan that is willing to intervene, but that often makes things worse. The abuser may turn their wrath to whomever tries to help, and this is how people get hurt. Either the abuser or the good Samaritan sometimes ends up getting injured, sometimes it's the victim. Sometimes the victim turns on the good Samaritan to defend the abuser. If people could freely leave such situations and have safe, affordable alternatives, they would. But capitalism has long abandoned those without the means to afford better housing, free of abuse, to a fate worse than death. I think about this all the time because I lived with somebody who was really abusive for a long time. And the abuse that I could actually remember was not even a fraction as bad as the abuse that I didn't know that was going on. I wanted to be safe. I wanted to have a partner that loved me and wouldn't hurt me. And my partner was a covert abuser. And so every time I see somebody in such a situation, what finally changed it for me was getting a weapon. There are a lot of people where that would make a world of difference. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, if you're careless enough to allow someone who's abused you to get access or to be within arm's reach of you when you're wielding something like that to defend yourself, there's a high probability it ends up getting used on you. I got free of my circumstances. The person that was hurting me eventually died, not by my hand. But there's still others out there. We need to have an economy that works for people who are victims and survivors of those situations, rather than constricting and constraining them to depend on a continual basis on people who have some false perception of power over them because they have money and their victims do not.